5 things that men do when there's somebody else on the scene, aka he's cheating. These are the 5 things that men do when they're cheating. It's not just 5, but we're going to explore these first 5 and maybe look at the others as we go along on this channel. Hello, my name is Chengi. I'm your dating and relationship expert, and I am here to teach you how to present as a high value, high status, and high worth woman that high quality men find completely irresistible. Can I get an amen? Amen. So good to see you. It is always such an incredible pleasure to be with you. So let's get this party started. Number 1, when a man is cheating, something happens energetically. I want us to think about a man as an energy field. I want you to think about him as a spiritual field. Okay, and this is why when you speak to women who catch their men cheating, usually they felt it before they found the evidence. The reason why women start foraging through their husband's things and looking through their phones and looking in their cars is because the feeling always comes first. The energy always comes first. And energy never lies. So the first thing that is true when a man begins to cheat is he emotionally moves his energy elsewhere. This isn't necessarily because he's falling in love with another woman. It's just that what it takes to actually attract a woman, to win a woman, especially in those initial stages, is a giving off a man's emotional energy. Because men struggle in general to manage a woman's emotions, it is so much harder for them to pretend or to separate their emotional energy between the woman, their main woman, or the woman that they're in a relationship with, and the other one on the side. And so what happens is that he can only move his energy from left to right. So what you will find is when a man is dealing with another woman, his energy leaves you. His emotions, he's no longer emotionally available. He's no longer emotionally accessible. He is elsewhere. Even when you're being intimate, he is not present. He is elsewhere because he's exhausting his emotional resources elsewhere. I was having a conversation with a lady over a reel on Instagram why he leaves for the other woman, and she was like, what if the side chick doesn't want him to leave his wife and be with her, but she doesn't want to take him away from the wife? And what I said to her was, even if the side chick doesn't want the marriage to break and actually believes in keeping the marriage going, she does not want to become the wife, she is still taking resources from the man. She is still taking emotional resources from the man. And so it's really important that we understand that there is never a time when somebody comes into our orbit and they do not take something with them. Even their presence has a way of absorbing certain values, certain treasures, certain qualities. This is why when another woman is on the scene, you're going to feel a withdrawal, especially in the emotional level. See, the House of Swans is the new portal for the Black Swan Relationship Academy. The House of Swans is where you will be able to completely access me and those of you who are serious, focused, and committed to your Black Swan journey. In the House of Swans, you will get access to many of the courses in the academy depending on your subscription level, but most importantly, you will get the exclusive courses I am creating only for the women in the House of Swans. So far, we've been talking about the power dynamics between men and women, sharing things that I will never share on public platforms, giving you insight so you understand how power flows between the masculine and the feminine. I'm also sharing about how to be completely and totally unforgettable in the bedroom, how to get a man to be completely and absolutely generous with you. And all you have to do to be a part of this elite society is to click the link in the bio. And if you're watching this on Instagram, comment the word swans and a link will be sent to you. Love you lots. Secondly, he begins to limit his access to you. For those of you who are in relationships living with him, all of a sudden he's got things that make you inaccessible to his time. Maybe he might use the excuse for work, or he might use the certain different types of excuses, but his time becomes inaccessible. If you were dating, he doesn't see you as often. He doesn't make plans to see you as often. His time seems to be taken up elsewhere. This is usually because he is actually lending his time to secure a new connection. He's lending his time and his efforts to secure a new connection. Therefore, this one is going to start to be breadcrumbed. In his mind, he's probably keeping both of them going. But actually, experientially, when a man starts to see someone else or be interested in somebody else, he starts to limit his time. The next one is you will find a lot of inconsistencies in his stories. You asked him yesterday about something and he gave you a story. You asked him today about something else that should be connected to what he was doing and he gave you a different story. When men are cheating, when men are exploring other opportunities, and they're not particularly great at lying, there will be inconsistencies. You'll be like, didn't you say you were at this yesterday? Yeah, I was. But then, and then there's a kind of long story. When people have to use many words to tell the truth, usually they're not telling the truth. Liars have to give stories and explanations for things. This is a sign that he wasn't where he said he was. He was not doing what he says he was doing. He was doing something else. And inconsistencies begin to pile up and pile up and pile up. Even about issues that don't really need or have anything to do with perhaps him seeing someone else. Simple issues, pickups from school or meeting you at this time. Small things that have really not, picking up the carrots from the supermarket. Some reason this is inconsistency is because he's getting into his brain that whenever he speaks to you, he cannot tell you the truth. He cannot allow the truth to come out of his mouth because he might just tell on himself. So he's made you the person that he lies to, and now he's finding it difficult to keep his story straight. Pattern breaks. There are breaks in the way that your relationship flows. Every relationship has a pattern. Every relationship has a vibration. And every relationship has an energy. We have to pay attention to these things. Sometimes those energies and those vibrations are anchored by a communication style, a communication pattern. Maybe he calls you every night. Maybe he calls you every morning. Maybe he texts you every day. Maybe he texts you every night. Whatever that touch point, that anchor to the energy, it begins to become disrupted. All of a sudden, you don't know if you'll hear from him. All of a sudden, you don't know if you'll see him. For the woman who's at home with her husband, all of a sudden, you don't know if he's coming to have dinner with you tonight. You no longer know if you're going to have breakfast together. You no longer know those patterns that you built in your relationships, they start to break. Last but absolutely not least, he can become highly thoughtful, unusually oversharing, unusually transparent. So normally he would just be going to choir practice or band practice or football practice. But now he gets to football practice and he says, hey babe, I've arrived at football practice. And you're like, okay, you've never had to tell me before. I miss you. Okay, lovely. This is sweet. And in this season, sometimes you can feel like your relationship is actually feeling better. He's now giving you all the things that you said you wanted, the attention, the love, the thoughtfulness, the consideration. When he's coming, he's going to be late. He'll be like, babe, here I am. And he'll video call you. He never used to video call you before. He'd just call you, but he wants to show and prove he's all by himself. And this is additional effort. And that is really a star move from a man who doesn't want to lose his relationship. When a man doesn't want to lose his relationship, he's going to do everything to console and to cover up his tracks. But when a man is really tired and he doesn't want to stay, but he doesn't have the guts to walk away, he will be careless enough for him to get caught so he can do, oops, I got caught, and leave. But most men who want to keep their relationships may turn to being unusually thoughtful, unusually helpful. Now they're making you breakfast. Now they're making you dinner. Now they're buying you flowers. This is something that is out of pattern, out of the rhythm, in a better way. And you're thinking, what could have happened? He just wants to put you off the scent. So what do we do when we notice these things? Point, to be honest with you, unless and until you have evidence that you don't have to go looking for, because evidence has a way of showing up. And when it does, you can then decide what you want to do about that relationship. if you're in a dating relationship where he has not committed to you, he's not said we are an item, then he's actually not cheating. He's just moving his attention to somebody else he may potentially want to be connected with. At this point, it means that you have in some way, shape, or form made an attraction mistake. You have said or done something or moved in such a way that his attraction for you has gone and somebody else is doing something right. So in this instance, when we are dating and we feel a man do these moves and move in a way where there feels to be this taking away of his energy, is often because we have made an attraction mistake. And we can learn that in the Mastering Attraction Masterclass at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. And all you have to do is look for the House of Swans, and you'll be able to access courses there that can help you with any attraction mistakes that you would have made. And if you are in a dating and courtship relationship, I would say proceed with caution. If these signs are already coming up before any real commitment comes up, it's probably an opportunity for you to really consider walking away and starting a relationship with somebody who is emotionally present for it. I hope that this video was helpful. I look forward to seeing you in my next one. In the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye. If you've been listening to this broadcast, you feel that you identify with anything that I have said, I want you to know that we're not leaving you on your own. Actually, I have created a complimentary initial call with my coaches. You will be able from today onwards to call one of the coaches and have a conversation about the particular issue that is bothering you. This call is completely free. No obligation. It is our ministry and our service to you to make sure that we get to touch base with you, understand what's going on with you, and actually give you a moment to speak with a professional, maybe even for the first time in your life. But I don't know how long I'll be able to offer this to you, my darling swan. But whilst it is here and you're watching this video, please find the link below, or if you're on Instagram, comment help. Take care of you.